Becoming a peaceful warrior. Yeah, yeah. Look, I realized growing up that my aim was to be, my orientation was to be this sort of good person, be this nice person. And whilst absolutely, I do think it's important to be a decent person, a good person, a nice person. I realized that was really important, that you had to be able to be a warrior too. You had to be able to have that beast within, but be able to sort of manage it, to be able to not go around and causing issues and so on and so forth. To be a decent person, to be a good person, but have the capacity to stand up for yourself if necessary. Because being nice, being just a good person would leave, well, certainly in my experience, would leave me open to that vulnerability. People, it's like when sharks smell blood, so to speak. So basically for me, I joined I started Thai boxing. I joined the Mundine gym in Redfern, as it was at the time, and would do Thai boxing with a really, really fantastic Thai boxing trainer who was from Thailand. I also took up Wing Chun Kung Fu as well. I signed up the Wing Chun Kung Fu as well. I also, at that point, took up boxing too with a really, really prominent boxing coach. So I wanted to sort of like develop the skills, the capacity to stand up to people if necessary. Obviously, be a decent person, go about my business, not cause anyone any issues, but also if people kind of encroach your space. But it was also important not to be able to defend yourself physically. It's also important linguistically too, and to be able to articulate. And when I say articulation, I don't mean, from a speaking capacity, speak with a well-to-do accent, so to speak. I'm just saying to be able to orientate conversation. So hence I would sort of, take up and start learning things like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to have the capacity to be able to sort of, stand up to people, obviously, if necessary. And the irony is, by doing that, the irony is, whilst I'm not suggesting anyone sort of look for any problems and it's great to be peaceful, the irony was, the more you could do that, people would recognize that, the more they would back off, so to speak. So yeah, look, and I think for me, martial arts and learning martial arts and Thai boxing and boxing was definitely an important step in being able to do that. And I certainly recommend sort of, young people learning, the martial arts and learning how to articulate themselves, I think is really important, because obviously, if necessary, you can, you stand a better chance to defend yourself. But also, not only that, I think it kind of thwarts the threat to a certain degree, because we will recognize this person is not going to be a soft touch, so to speak. And I think that for me, and when I see that in people, I admire people that way. They've got capacity to be tough, but they contain it. They are a good person. So absolutely, strive to be this good person, but have the capacity to defend oneself is really important too.